That is the words that guy spilled in my face. So I'm like, what? In my humble way, I'm trying to tell him that, excuse me, I don't understand. And he's like, well, first of all, you don't look like a model, and you don't look like you're Ugandan. I don't think you can make it in the modeling world. Who brought you here? I was so confused. I'm like, what does my look, what does the person who brought me here have to do with anything? I'm like, well, I signed up, I saw you guys online, looked up your website, what. Brought my mom here, we talked to the other instructor. The other instructor was not even around, you know? It was this new one who was around. The other one that I signed up with wasn't around. I signed up with the other instructor, what, and everything was all good. And he's like, anyways, your stomach is too big, so you can't be a model. And I'm like, what the fudge? Immediately he told me that statement, I looked down at my stomach. I'm like, my stomach? What's wrong with my stomach? First of all, guys, I know I don't have the world's flattest stomach, but I knew that time it wasn't big. I was still a child, and you know how children, they have like flat tummies. I knew I didn't have that kind of flat tummy, but it wasn't that visible. According to me, it wasn't that bad, you know. So I looked down at my stomach. I'm like, so by that point now, I was almost close to breaking down with tears. So he's breaking me down for how I look, the person who brought me here, and for my tummy, which I was sure wasn't that bad, but still, like, I couldn't understand why he was saying such awful words. And he's like, your walk wasn't good, you don't look like a model, your tummy is too big. I started like, I couldn't even cry because there were lots of people just there. He's breaking me down in front of people, me being the youngest, okay? And I didn't want to show people that I was weak emotionally. So I just looked down. I looked down as I was taking in everything he was saying. I couldn't even defend myself. I became speechless, you know? Then he's like, anyways, improve on your walk and stuff like that. I just couldn't even acknowledge him anymore. Like, everything in me, my confidence, my esteem went push down to the gutters. That's where my esteem went. So he went around talking to everyone, and everyone else's wasn't that bad compared to mine. So I'm wondering, what is wrong with me? You know what? You know, I just wondered like that. So usually I would stay like an extra hour in that hall to practice my walk on the other days before the instructor came. That day I called the guy who was picking me up and dropping me off. I'm like, please come and pick me up. Just immediately after the class finished, please come and pick me up, blah blah blah. I went home, I broke down into tears. Into tears. I couldn't believe what I just had. I couldn't believe that there are still mean people like that. I couldn't believe the lack of compassion. I just couldn't believe it. So I was in tears and blah 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 until night time. My mom came, and then she's wondering, it's now supper time and I'm not around, what. She went into my room. She just found me still crying. I told her about everything, about what the guy said exactly, everything just. And you know, I was so shocked. She was so shocked. She calls the initial director, the initial instructor that I signed up with. She's like, is this what you're doing to young children? Is this blah 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 blah? Just because we joined your agency, do you think you have a right to treat my daughter like this? Blah 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 blah. She really spilled out her guts to those people. She's like, I am coming for a refund. My daughter is no longer coming to these classes. I'm done with you guys. Actually, you guys should be sued for emotional torture. Like, she spilled all of that. To top it all off, look at me now. Look at where I am. There is a positive to this story, you know. Look at where I am, guys. I am a model. I am a proud model. Even though I don't fit according to model standards, I'm a proud model. I take my photos well, I walk well, I present myself well, I look beautiful. Just know that I have been building myself up through those few basics that I learned from the school for those months and for those weeks. I have been able to build myself, and I've not forgotten any teaching that I have learned from that place. So now whenever people are telling me that you look like a model, what would I accept? I'm like, yeah, actually I am a model, blah 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 blah. You know, I represent myself. I'm confident in myself. That guy broke me down. And that is just a typical example of what happens in the modeling world. You see models out there, some of them are not really happy. They are being broken down each and every day. Some of us were broken down when we were young, you know. But today I'm so glad to say that I take bomb photos. I look so sexy. Huh? What else do? I have the world's sexiest walk. I can walk like a model for hours and hours and hours. The only thing about me, I cannot stand in high heels for long. But yeah, I'm actually so proud of myself. That guy could suck it. So if you're going to watch this, suck it. Suck it, Mr. Ronnie. Suck it. So guys, this has just been a story time about the time I was told I cannot be a model. And look at where I am right now, years after. So guys, this has been your favorite MC. As usual, back to your screens with this story time. If you have such experiences, or if you have words of motivation, drop them down. You know, if you've liked this story, give it a thumbs up. If you're seeing my face for the first time, do subscribe. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I love you guys. I will see you in the next vlog. Bye guys.